Vagabond is full of strong men, men who trained for decades, men who built schools and philosophies and reputations, men who pushed the limits of what a human body and mind could do with a sword. If Ittosai Itto were just another strong man, he would be redundant. He isn't. Every major foil in Vagabond embodies a path. Inshun shows mastery through discipline. Sekishusai shows transcendence. Sasaki Kojiro shows natural genius. Matahachi shows what happens when you choose the exit. Ittosai doesn't have a path. He exists before the question of paths was ever asked. And that makes him the most unsettling character in the entire manga. Not because of what he can do with a sword, but because of what he reveals about Musashi's deepest remaining illusion. Musashi wants to become invincible under the sun. Ittosai already stopped wanting anything. And Vagabond never quite tells you which one of them is further along the road. To understand what Ittosai reveals, you have to understand what the other mirrors in Vagabond are actually reflecting. Musashi approaches every significant encounter wanting something. Recognition from Sekishusai. Knowledge from the masters he seeks out. Proof, always proof, that the road is producing something worth what it costs. Each major character responds to that wanting in a different way. Inshun shows him that discipline alone is not enough. That mastery, without the right foundation, produces something brittle, technically extraordinary, but spiritually incomplete. Sekishusai shows him what the destination looks like. An old man who has gone further than anyone and arrived somewhere that looks nothing like what Musashi imagined. Quieter, more open, more connected to life rather than less. Sasaki Kojiro shows him what it looks like to have what he's chasing without the chasing. The natural genius who arrived at presence without the road, which is both the most inspiring and most devastating thing Musashi could witness. Matahachi shows him the exit, the version of himself that took the easy road and discovered that the easy road leads nowhere worth going. Each mirror shows Musashi something about the journey, about what is possible, what is being missed, what the destination might or might not look like. Ittosai is different. Ittosai doesn't reflect the journey at all. The word that keeps coming to mind with Ittosai is elemental, not enlightened, not transcendent, not beyond good and evil in the philosophical sense. Elemental, the way a storm is elemental, or a river or fire. Not virtuous, not immoral, not answering the question of how one should live, simply existing before the question arose. Heraclitus, one of the earliest philosophers, described the world not as something to be understood or transcended, but as an eternal process of becoming, fire that is always consuming and always creating. The river you cannot step into twice because it is never the same river. A world that doesn't ask permission or offer explanation, it simply moves. Ittosai moves like that. He doesn't chase legitimacy. He doesn't care about schools, reputation, titles, or philosophy. He feels almost animalistic, but not in a crude sense. In the sense that he operates prior to the civilizational categories that everyone else in Vagabond takes for granted. The hierarchy of schools, the meaning of victory, the moral weight of how the sword is used. None of it has purchase on him. Not because he conquered those concerned, but because they never really found him in the first place. And this is what makes him genuinely difficult to categorize. Vagabond knows how to make you judge characters harshly when it wants to. When the manga wants condemnation, it is perfectly capable of delivering it. With Ittosai, it never does. He is given too much dignity, too much vitality, too much strangeness that is presented not as flaw, but as fact. He is not a warning. He is not an ideal. He is a natural phenomenon the story is fascinated by and slightly unsettled by, without fully endorsing. Most readers treat Sasaki Kojiro as Musashi's ultimate mirror, and in terms of what each represents as a philosophical position, Kojiro as presence, Musashi as pursuit. That's accurate. But psychologically, Ittosai may be the darker mirror. Kojiro reflects what Musashi wishes he had been born with: the natural genius, the absence of ego, the sword that moves because the moment calls for it, rather than because something needs to be proven. Ittosai reflects something more disturbing. He reflects what Musashi might become if he stripped away every remaining attachment to status, to meaning, to recognition, to the need to define himself, and found on the other side not peace, not wisdom, not connection, but something that has moved past the human entirely. This is the question Ittosai embeds in the story without ever stating it directly. If you removed every illusion, every social role, every ambition, every attachment, what remains? Most characters in Vagabond answer that question with a philosophy. Seki Shusai answers with compassion. Musashi is learning to answer with connection. The farming arc answers with interdependence and the recognition that other people are real. Ittosai doesn't answer at all. He embodies a state that existed before the question was asked. And that is a problem for Musashi specifically, because Musashi's entire identity is built around pursuit, around the destination, around becoming something he can point to and say, "This is what the road produced." If Musashi met a stronger swordsman, he could surpass him. If he met a wiser man, he could learn from him. But Ittosai isn't playing the same game. He isn't on a road at all. There is nothing to surpass, nothing to learn from, no framework that makes the encounter legible in the terms Musashi has been using for his entire life. How do you respond to something that doesn't recognize the categories you've organized your existence around? Vagabond's direction is outward. Every character who grows in this story grows toward greater connectedness. Seki Shusai opens to life rather than closing from it. Musashi gradually learns to see other people as fully real, not as obstacles or measures of his own worth. The farming arc is fundamentally about dependence, community, responsibility. The direction of the story keeps expanding the circle. Ittosai doesn't expand. He remains what he is. And I think this is Inoue's most important statement about him. Not that Ittosai is wrong, not that he is a failure, not that his way is inferior, but that it is incomplete in a specific and human way. An enlightened person transcends attachment. Ittosai doesn't feel transcendent. He feels elemental. There is a difference. Transcendence suggests something was overcome. The elemental suggests something was simply never engaged with. The clue is what the manga spends hundreds of chapters doing to Musashi, deepening his relationship to life. People, crops, villages, suffering, love. The circle keeps expanding. The road keeps asking him to become more human rather than less. Ittosai never received that invitation. Or perhaps, and this is the darker reading, he received it and it simply didn't land. The soil wasn't there for it. Vagabond spends most of its pages asking one question: how should one live? Seki Shusai has an answer. Musashi is searching for one. Otsu has one. Even Matahachi has a distorted version of one. Ittosai may be the only major character who doesn't answer the question at all. He is magnificent in his freedom, terrifying in what that freedom costs. And strangely, quietly, persistently, alone. Not because the world rejected him, because the world was never quite the right size for what he is. Musashi's journey is profoundly human because it's full of striving and confusion and loneliness and love and ego and regret and eventually compassion. It's messy. It requires other people. Ittosai seems untouched by those things, not because he conquered them, because they never had much purchase on him in the first place. And Vagabond never tells you whether that is freedom or loss. It just shows you both, simultaneously, in the same person, beautifully free and strangely alone. Build quietly. Walk your path.